Hey everyone, welcome to the show. We're talking about the Hormozi launch. Who couldn't be? After last Saturday, it was unbelievably epic. After about 8 hours, I had to give up. I was I was in from the very beginning. I didn't know how much longer it was going to go. I thought they were going to try to go to midnight, but I I I was little bit ready to be done with it after a while. Like this open-ended side of it was kind of getting me a little frustrated, but it was very, very good. And this is going to be unpacked and studied for a number of years. I'm sure there's books going to be written about it. There's going to be lots and lots of videos unpacking it with people giving their opinions. And this isn't going to be a long video, but I'm going to do my own assessment of why this was so incredibly successful. And I will fully admit I was a VIP member. I went ahead and bought my book is in here. I haven't even opened it up yet. So the one thing that I found that was very interesting about this whole thing as I'm watching it, and the information was good. Let me just say that Hormozi always delivers. He never comes with fluff. He always comes with tons of social proof, tons of validity. He has been able to generate a tremendous amount of trust with his audience because he always demonstrates competence, right? So remember, the fastest way to demonstrate trust or to create trust is to demonstrate competence. And he did that. He absolutely delivered in bulk like he always does. The interesting thing in two is he also demonstrates character, and that's what maintains that trust through the years. And when people are going to start, they're going to try to go into the nuances. Well, he did this, and then he did this, and he did this. Right? Like there were certainly lots of tactical things that he had done well. One of the things that I had noticed about his video when he was going through his presentation, and he started on time, which was appreciated. And I think he started right. I think it was right at 11 or noon. I think it was right at noon Eastern time. And I noticed that his delivery seemed to be a little off. Like he wasn't the normally articulate, running from one sentence into the next. Like it seemed like he was reading from the slides. It honestly seemed like he was tired. And that is not meant to be a criticism at all. I just noticed that normally he's this very polished, articulate speaker that is able to flow from one thought to the next, to the next, to the next. And it just seemed like he was reading from the slides, which probably demonstrated how hard he worked up to this. The information he gave was really, really good. I mean, again, he probably his 8 out of 10 is probably his 2 out of 10 is probably better than my 8 out of 10, which I'll gladly take the criticism, but he was off a little bit. And it was interesting when I was watching him give the information, and I was wearing 2 hats when I was watching the Hormozi launch. And for those of you who are not familiar, he launched this book, the $100 million the money models. And it was interesting because as he was unpacking this, I was wearing 2 different hats. One hat was as a consumer to see what it was that he had to offer. And then this other hat that I was wearing as a presenter and as a strategist. And I was looking at it from both lenses at the same time. And from the consumer lens, I feel like he delivered, and he delivered well. Some of the information I had heard, honestly, I'd heard before. I'd heard from Russell Brunson. I'd heard from Dan Kennedy. I've heard that stuff before. And so the money models concept wasn't super new to me. And but I will also tell you it was really, really good the way that he laid it out. So that is not meant to be any sort of criticism at all. A lot of the stuff Hormozi has learned from others, and he even said he's gone and studied many, many, many hours to learn the things that other people have taught through the years, so he could be teaching and learning and implementing the stuff that he knows now. And he just kind of boiled it all down into its finest parts and is now packaging it and repackaging it for your consumption. So it was one thing. It was interesting that he had said something that I thought was interesting when people had said that people will judge you, or Hormozi has been known to say, the market judges you by what you give away for free. And that's incredibly true. But that was said literally over 100 years ago by Claude Hopkins, that the market judges you by your samples, basically what you give away for free. So not saying that his stuff is recycled, not saying that his stuff isn't relevant. It's just, it's just, stuff. It's the same stuff, right? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. He packages it in a really good Hormozi way. He's got very loyal following, and I think it's really, really good. And I did get a lot from the consumption side. As a consumer side, I did glean some insights there. My bigger takeaway, though, was as a strategist. My bigger takeaway was on the other side of the equation as I'm sitting looking at this from a presentation perspective, looking at this from a strategist perspective. And what he was able to pull off was the culmination of an effective long-term strategy. And I know he's not done, because now that you can start to see, as he was rolling out different elements of school, now I'm getting blasted with school ads, SKOOL, right, which is a brand that he's part of. And I think that's it's in his portfolio of companies under acquisition.com. So when you start looking at all the different things that he has done and has been able to, engineer over the last several years, and for this to be the kind of culmination of it, it seems like it was just a brilliant long-term strategy that's been rolled out from one to the next, and using the $100 million moniker, he kind of owns that. And just like Dan Kennedy has the no BS moniker, right? Russell Brunson has the secrets, right? The .com secrets, what was the other, expert secrets, right? So, and everybody tried to copy that. So there's all these different things that people have tried to copy, or have kind of made it their moniker. And Hormozi has done this really, really well. So, using these little devices within the nation, and he's just been masterful at it. So if there was any sort of criticism, it's not meant to be a criticism at all. It's just meant to be something that I have noticed, because like his presentations are usually like very well spot on, but it makes me think that he was just tired, because he had said he got up at 2:45. He's probably had nights like that back to back for probably the last several weeks. And that was like the culmination of it. So I just happened to notice that in the presentation. Maybe he was a little nervous too. I don't know. He dropped $4 or $5 million to kind of get this launch right, and he had all these people around him. He probably wanted to make sure that they were taken care of. So it was good. But so that's really all I have. I'm gonna let me just go ahead and see and open this box up here. I'll just go ahead and do this live since you guys are here. Got my handy dandy knife handy, and see what it is, or how they packaged this up. If there was anything fancy in the presentation of it. Nope, just the book. That's okay. Here it is, $100 million money models. So I'm interested to get into this book. I think it's probably just going to be, if it's anything like his training, it's probably just going to be very similar to his training, but maybe a few other nuggets there that he didn't quite cover or get deep enough in. But I took a ton of notes, and I really appreciated him. I really appreciate what he's been able to show, because it's kind of like the 4-minute mile. And I want to see now how many people are able to have launches like he has, because now they're understanding, and they're able to pull back the curtain and look at the actual strategy that he employed, that was around branding and around making sure that he had the right people in the room and teed people up to just keep delivering more and more and more value. He's uncovered a lot of things, and I think it's pretty cool to see. So that's all I have. I'll see you guys next time.